Girls Read, and today we're doing a book haul of all the books I've accumulated between the months of March and, well, I say April, May, and June. These are books I have accumulated April, May, and June. I'm not somebody who usually buys a whole lot of books. I don't like buying books that I don't know I love and having them on my shelves, because then I am in trouble with the process of what to do when I don't like them. Waiting for them to sell, finding somewhere to donate them. I cannot be bothered. But I've actually been very, very spoiled recently. And a lovely man has bought me a lot of books. I have bought some of these, but I cannot lie, I did not buy most of these. So we're doing a book haul. This will probably only be a quarterly thing. I hopefully do not make this a habit, because there's like 20 books here, and I want to go through this so this isn't super long. I have a habit of ramblings. But let's start in order of which I acquired them. These first three books are from Steamlit. They are I think BIPOC, well, they're definitely a BIPOC owned romance bookstore that is in the state of Florida. They did a pop-up up here in New York, so I was able to acquire a book, and also they did a party that same night that I attended, and I got 2 books in a goodie bag. The first book that I did acquire was in a I posted it on my Instagram like 2 months ago. It was in a blind date with a book, and I got Delicate Escape by Catherine Cowles. This is a part of a series, and it is not the first book in that series. I don't want to read this. I'm not. I think they might. Are they standalone? I don't know if they are. They're like internet connected standalones, and it's better if you read them. I've read some of her stuff already. It's better if you read them in order. I'm not on this series. I pretty much started from the beginning of her, her like backlog, and yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get to this. This one is really pretty copy with the pink sprayed edges. I don't know if this is like the standard copy or if Steamlit did a special edition. But yeah, that was the first book I acquired. This is The Art of Scandal, Regina Black. This is between the wife of a politician whose husband has been cheating on her, but they're trying to keep the scandal under wraps until after he wins his election. But she finds a man that she would like to step out with, so that is next. And lastly, this is Karaoke Queen by Dominic Lim. I'm not sure if Steamlit is also pre-owned or if they're just I already know they're big on diversity or whatnot, but still, this book was in the goodie bag. This is a story, I think, between a drag queen. I'm not sure who the other MMC is. I don't know much about drag queens or what they do other than look really, really good and fierce. So yes, this book might totally like be lost on me. But we have it. Oh, and it's voiced by Ali Hazelwood. I haven't even read Ali Hazelwood, but she is on my TBR for July. Those are Steamlit books. Alright, next. I had a date. I think it was, oh gosh, books are full. I had a date, I think it was the beginning of May, where I was taken to the Red Bodice, and then if you don't know, the Red Bodice is also a romance bookstore. Originally set in LA last year or 2 years ago, they opened up a branch in Brooklyn. So these are the 3 books I acquired. Was it only 3? It might have actually only been 3. Did he buy them? I'm gonna say 3. These are the 3 books that I acquired. No, wait. Was it? No, it was 3. I'm not bugging. So many books, don't know what's going on. So these are 3 books that I acquired. One of them I have already read, of course. This is The Score by Elle Kennedy. Ended up really loving this book, even though I thought I wasn't going to. Read it years ago. I have another copy of this. Where is it? Oh my gosh. There it goes. I have another copy of this that is tapped up, but it annoyed me because I read it physically. This is the copy I read. Because I have the new cartoony covers, the most recent covers of the deal. And I'm like, I needed a cover that matched. I do plan on transferring my Tabby tabs towards the end of this year when I have nothing better to do. But yeah. That was one book I acquired. Next one is a book I have not read, but it has been on my TBR since it came out. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonner Young. This is A Surprise Pregnancy, and it has disability rep. I don't know if you can see on the cover, but the MMC is missing his leg. This was super popular. It'll be the first thing I think I've read by Hannah Bonner Young. I'm actually excited for this. And lastly, I acquired, which I've already messed up because I've been shoving it in and out of bags so I can, like, make myself read it, is One Dark Window. I started this finally, like, earlier today. I'm gonna have to read it at home because I refuse to, you see, like, the corner is messed up. I refuse to, shove this in another bag until I acquire a book sleeve. So those are the 3 books I got from the Red Bodice. And the next book I also got on a bookish date. We have Love and Bloom. I got this from the book club bar, which is in the East Village. We ended our day here, did we? I feel like we got crepes after this too. But this was one of our stops on our date. It is a signed cover. Oh, and it came with a sticker. I don't remember it coming with a sticker. That's really, really cute. But yeah, this is by Lucy Eden. This is a signed cover. I'm guessing she stopped in the store and signed a few. This is a small town romance between a girl who inherits a farm that I don't think is doing well. She doesn't even know how it is making any money. And the guy who works on the farm, who's already working on the farm, small town, the people are suspicious of her. They don't trust her. They probably think she's going to sell the farm. So they are not being the friendliest. I can't wait to read this. Don't know when I'm getting to it. But I do not let books sit around unread for very, very long. Okay, and on another, are you seeing a pen here? On another bookish day, I went to a book pop-up in Jersey City. What is the lady's company name? Got my brain. Bookhaven Books. This wonderful lady. I will put the Instagram page for her company, and maybe hers up. I cannot remember her name right now, but she did a pop-up in a cafe in Jersey City. Didn't mention the cafe had tiramisu lattes. It was so good. There was also a flower making class that you could purchase a ticket for, and you could do that, and they had a DJ in the back. It was an overall, like, lovely evening. It was hot, but eventually the sun had a few clouds. We got a breeze. It was lovely. I cannot complain. This one is Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping. This is a cozy mystery, which I've kind of had beef with cozy mysteries because some of them have, like, bored me to death, or the writing hasn't been, like, my cup of tea. But this looks really, really interesting. This author, Jessie, I don't want to mispronounce her name, Sutato. She has written also romances that I have not read. I picked up this book, not realizing this is the second book in the series. So I definitely do want to read the first one. This looks very, very funny. And I feel like I'm really going to enjoy this. I feel like I'm blocking my own light. And, funnily enough, the day before the pop-up, I put this book on my TBR on Goodreads. But is The River Has Roots by Amal. I'm going to mess up everybody's names. Everybody's names are terrible with names. But this, I'm not sure really what this is. It is a novella. I think it's fantasy. I think it is sapphic. Don't quote me on that. But I think this author also writes poetry. Me and the owner of Bookhaven, we were talking about the author. She said something about them writing poetry and that I should really read. So I hopefully like this. I don't really read any poetry, but I'm not opposed to reading any poetry. Alrighty. And let's pick up, like, the second biggest stack. The second biggest stack, these are from multiple places. So I think 2 weeks ago now, 2 weeks ago now, definitely 2 weeks ago now, Danielle Allen had a book signing at the book club bar. As you can see, I've been there already before. And I signed up to go. It was another date. and I had thought, let me try to run around and get my copies, because I had read Curvy Girl Summer already. Hold on. I had read Curvy Girl Summer already, but I didn't have a copy of it. I read this on KU, and Plus Size Player had just come out. I should have pre-ordered my copy. I didn't think anything of it. I tried to get it from my local bookstore, because I really wanted to support them, and I haven't been there in quite a while, because I don't buy a whole lot of books normally. But she was sold out. So I did, excuse me, gosh, I burped. I did have to run before the signing and pick up both of these at Barnes & Noble. So, mainly because I didn't want to get to the signing, and I figured I probably wasn't the only person who didn't have physical copies of the book, which I wasn't. There definitely was a line of people going to purchase the book. I didn't want to have to deal with that once I got there. So I did run ahead of time, pick these up from Barnes & Noble by Danielle Allen. This was a 5-star. I had read this the month before. I just read this. I haven't, calculated really what my rating is, because yeah, now I'm, anal about that. But, definitely feel like this is going to be a 4 or 4.5 star. The romance in this I loved more, but Nina is my favorite character so far in this series. There is one more coming out next year. Love these. She did sign them for me, so yes, I do have both of these signed by the fabulous Danielle Allen. If you have not read these yet, these are great summer reads. They all take place in one summer. Pick those up. Definitely 'tis the season. So at the signing, of course, there was an interview beforehand, and the person interviewing Danielle Allen was Alexis Daria. I had never read any Alexis Daria beforehand, and she really wasn't on my TBR. But they had such a good talk, about writing, about life and stuff, that I was tempted to purchase her book. And she was sweet enough, even though this was Danielle's signing, she also signed books, because she was there, and there were people interested in purchasing her book. She had her books up by the counter too. Her most recent one, I decided to buy the first one, and where did she sign? Got her to sign it right there. Very, very, very sweet lady. And while I was at the Barnes & Noble picking up my 2 copies from the Curve series, I also picked up The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I've never read an Ali Hazelwood book before this, but after the whole debacle that she got into, where people harassing her because she did not like Peeta from the Hunger Games, and they're being really rude to her, she took down all of her social media because she just didn't want to be bothered with the mess, which I don't blame her. Many authors, especially BIPOC black women, went out, they defended her, and they highlighted her allyship. And hey, I'll support an ally. Ma'am, it's not about your book. And I do plan on reading this. This is in my July TBR. And lastly, I went a little crazy while I was at the Barnes & Noble, because I saw there was a signed edition of Forget Me Not by Julie Soto, and this was one of my favorite books in February. I've read a lot of bangers in February, but this was definitely up there. And yeah, a signed copy. See? Jules. So I had to pick this up. I love this book so much. So glad that I got it. Yeah. So there was that. And I thought I was done shopping. I thought it was good. But one late night after 3 glasses of wine, I saw that Book Outlet was having a sale. A fiction sale, and the books were $5.99. Books are expensive. I remember back when paperbacks were like $10 and like hardcovers were $16, $15, $16. It is not like that anymore. It's 14, 15, 16 bucks for a paperback. And freaking hardcovers are damn near $30. So when there is a sale, I'm gonna get some. Especially at Book Outlet, where the books are already marked down. So I got 6 books. Oh gosh, I got 6 books. I mean, where do I start? This is, some of them have the Target. You can see that where they were originally from, Target, I guess, before people got rid of their copies for whatever reason. But this is Savor It by Tara Do It. I'm not sure what this is about. I'm pretty sure I've heard good things about it. It looked cute. It was on my TBR on Goodreads. Might as well pick it up. Alrighty. I have the second book in this series after Forget Me Not. This is with one of Emma's sisters. She has a lot of step siblings. One of her step siblings, and I think one of the musicians who did one of her weddings. I think they knew each other. I don't remember how. You met them in this book. This is their book. That's all I know. I'm gonna read it. Hopefully, I love it. This is A Song for Rookie Wild by Tia Williams. I just read in the beginning of January, 7 Days in June. I loved that book. It was heartbreaking and funny and beautiful. And of course, I was very enthusiastic to pick up more Tia Williams. This is like magical realism, which I don't really, I can't say I've really delved into, but if it's as good as 7 Days in June, I'm gonna love this. This is Dating and Dismemberment by A.L. Brody. This is a monster romance written by a man. I don't have a lot of books by men. I don't read a lot of books, especially not romance, but go off. Men read romance. Yeah, I don't think there's any spice, but this is a kind of a fun, haha, good times. I think it's like a dark rom-com. So yeah, I can read dark rom-coms. I'm not a big dark romance fan, but you make it funny, I might read it. And I don't even like regular rom-coms either. Now that I think about it. This is a book that I have read. This is Real by Kennedy Ryan. I also read this last month. She knows how to write a book. She knows how to write a book. She knows how to write a romance. She knows how to write a couple. She knows how to write people. I don't have to tell you how good Kennedy Ryan is. We all know how good Kennedy Ryan is. This is a book with lupus representation, chronic illness, of course. And it is between an actress who is discovered on her first day as an understudy. First time she gets to like really get on stage and cover for the person who got the lead role. And the director, a famous director who comes to see her that night by a mutual friend they have. Beautiful story. Beautiful, beautiful story. I'll read whatever she puts out, honestly. And lastly, this is Playing Hard to Get by Monica Murphy. I'm kind of scared. I think I might have read, D and F this before. It had a different cover. I don't know. The book that I'm thinking of, I think, isn't this. I think they have the same, MMC named Knox. How many sports romances with a character named Knox do you know, really? Honestly, and fantasy romance, if we're really getting into that overusage of that name, but, this is a sports romance between a football player and his tutor. I'm hoping this is not the one on DNF. I think that one might have been a novella. It might have been their novella. Does this one have a novella before it? Of their, first meeting? I don't know. Hopefully, this is not one on DNF, and I actually end up loving it. We have 2 books left. We are gonna hurry up and finish that. Bookhaven had another pop-up. Yeah. Bookhaven Books is the name of the company. Had another pop-up. She had messaged me directly, which is so sweet. Let me know, hey, it's last minute, but we are having one, and I do want to support independent booksellers, be it bookstores who do book pop-ups. She has an online store. So, I made it another date. So, he and I, hopped over to the cafe she was having it, in Hoboken. And we got drinks, we bought books, we soaked up the sun. There was, people with dogs and strollers. Sula was looking at dogs and babies and having a beautiful, beautiful Saturday. Books by new-to-me authors. These are authors that have been around forever, whose books I have never picked up. But my reading taste has recently evolved, and these sounded good. This is When Javi Dumped Mari by Mia Sosa. I was planning on going to the, she did a book signing at, of course, the Rick Bodice. But it was on that day that where it was 100 degrees, and being out in the heat was really making me, feel ill. And even though like the train is right there by my job, it's a short walk to the train. And it's not that long of a walk from the train station to the bookstore. I chose to be safe and go home, so I missed out on getting this book signed and hearing her talk. But this is a romance between two friends, and the FMC I think gets engaged, and now the MMC is trying to convince his friend that this is not the right guy for her. I don't know how I feel about that when they try to break them up. We'll see, but this sounded really sound like some tea, so I chose this. And the very last book that I have is a thriller. I'm not big on thrillers. I am a scaredy cat. You scare me. I get jumpy and paranoid. That's not a good state to be in. But this is One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole. Alyssa Cole also writes romances, but I had never been interested in the books that I had saw by her. They were like mostly like modern day like royalty romances, and I'm not interested in royalty outside of a fantasy setting. I don't even read that many historical romances to really know if I like it in a historical setting, but definitely don't read it outside of a fantasy setting. So I never picked up any of her books. She has another thriller before this. I wasn't interested back then. I am interested in this one. This is, I think the FMC has something, I call it, well, no, she's the female main character. It doesn't matter if it's not romance. Has something terrible happen to her. And the person who does it, she ends up in a space with them, and they end up dead. So she is the prime suspect, but she knows she didn't do it. And there's several other people around, so one of them could have did it. And it's a real dangerous situation. I hope this does not scare me. I'm not gonna read this at night. But that is the last, I think that was 22 books. That's the last 22 books I have hauled in the last 3 months. This will not be a habit. The next one might be 10 books. Knock on wood. Don't nobody come for me if it ends up being on that. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.